Hi guys, so welcome back to NonnyPOS. So today we'll be designing a POS web application using ChatGPT, and we're going to use our ASP.NET Core MVC. So let's get started. So I've already gotten my code from ChatGPT, so I'm going to get started. So how do we get started? Make sure you go into your Visual Studio. So go to our Visual Studio, click on open your Visual Studio. Then the same way we did, click on create new project, look for ASP.NET Core Web Application Model View Controller, then click on next and name it. I can name it NonnyPOS application. I can name it something like this, so you can name it the way you want. So after this, please don't leave the framework.NET 10 the same way. Click on create, and automatically to create a default folder or a default solution file for you. So let's see how we get started. So now we are done. So we have our controller, model, and views, and also we have our www file. So let's get started. So let's go to our ChatGPT and see what it asks us to do. So first thing is to do is ask us to install the NuGet package, SQL, and tools, Microsoft framework.tools. Very important NuGet packages. The same way we did, right click on this, go to manage NuGet packages, go to browse and type SQL Server. So it will bring out the option for SQL Server. Look for entity framework.SQL Server. So we are looking for SQL Server where you think I didn't get it, so it's not by design. Let me see. Okay, so we have Microsoft Entity Framework Core.SQL Server. So install the latest version, so it automatically bring you apply and I accept. So the next one is to do for your tools the same way we did in our first projects. Make sure don't forget Microsoft Entity Framework Core.tools. So the same way, you click on install and apply and accept. So now we are done. Okay, so what next? Let's go further. So these are process structure where we have our controller, our data, our model, our views, our WW root. So what next? So let's create our models. Let's create our our tables. So now let's copy. So what tables are we creating? A user class. So the same way, you come here, go to it, come this model, click on add, click on what classes, then put the name user. So this is a table for user, and click on create. Automatically it creates a public class user. So what are the properties of this user? We have int ID, username, password, and full name. So you just copy everything here and paste it directly inside this block of code. So you can see we have int ID, username, password, and full name. So what next? Let's move further. Let's create a product class, a product table. So we are going to do the same way. Copy this name the same way we did. Go to model, add what's a class, give the class name model, then save. Then what we have in model here, what are the properties? We have and public int ID, string name, and price, and in stock. Okay, so these are the properties we have. So in stock, the stock, we're going to calculate the amount of stock, the quantity, decimal, the price, the name, and product ID. So what next? What do we need to create? Let's go further. We have to create our sales table. That is our sales model. So come here, copy the name, or let me just copy these properties. Let me copy these properties together. So the same way, you add your class. What is the name of the class? Name of the class is what? Sales class. So you paste it and you add. Once you add, to show you to impute the properties, so copy that properties and impute it here. So we have the ID, the product name, the quantity, the price, the total, the amount paid, the change decimal, the change that remaining, then the date time, which is the sale date. So these are called what? Columns in each of the tables. So these are the columns for sales table. Yeah, so what next now? Let's go further. We have to create our application DB context. Most important, like I said, application DB context is just like a bridge that connects our C# code to SQL Server. So let's go. We have to create our application DB context, but before then, we have to create a folder called data. So come here, click on add the folder, new folder, and click on data. You save. Then under the data, you click on add classes. Click on add classes. You come here and what? Move, edit this in and click and save it as application DB context. So leave it as public. So what do we need to do in application DB context? So you can see what we need to do here. So you have to inherit from DB context. So we have to copy everything here. Okay, we already have this. Let me just copy everything here so that we'll, yeah, so copy everything here and paste it here. So let me see if we're on the same page. So yeah, so this one we inherit from DB context. So we have option, inherit from base class with option parameters. Then these are the tables: DB set user table and DB set product what table. Yeah, so what do we need next? So let's go. What we need there is app setting.json. So this is where we're going to put in our connection string the same way we did. So you have to copy everything here, come here, go to your app setting.json, edit this one, and what? Save. So this will get your app setting.json. So make sure you can change this to any name you want to put as your database name. So you can see this is NonnyPOS database. So what do we need next? What do we need next is, okay, so if you are using SQL Express, currently I'm using SQL, not SQL Express. So what do we need next? We have to go and configure our program.cs. So we have to configure our application DB context in our program.cs. So you copy this one. Let me copy it again, like you didn't copy. Copy this, then go back to your go to your program.cs. So where do we have it? Under, you have to make sure you follow it accordingly. Under create builder, so it will be under here. So register your services. So come here. So this, we have registered our application DB context. So you can see this default connection. So this is pointing to our default connection that we set in our app setting.json. So let's save. Make sure you always save your work. It's very important. Saving is very important. So what next? We have builder.service.arc section. We have to put this one. So come here. Let's see whether we have it here. No, we don't have it. So put it there. So what next? We have to impute here. So we have builder.build is there. Use HTTP redirection. Let's see if we have it there. So let's go down to our so we have HTTP redirection, we have use routing, use authorization, we have map statics file. So let's go again. We have use HTTP direction here, statics file is there, routing is there, but use section is not there. So let's go further. So we have to add it here. After where? Let's check again. So we have it after use routing. Use routing is also okay. This is use routing, so you can paste it here. So we have our use section. So what next do we need now? Let's see. Use authorization is there, map controller is there, so everything is there. So let's check again and confirm if everything is there. Yeah, so we have use direction, use routing, section, authorization, map static assets, and everything is good to go. So make sure you watch, make sure you save your work. Make sure you always save your work. Okay, so all these are referred to as what? Middleware. So what next do we need here? So let's go. So we have to add our application GB content. So let's copy this here. So this will be the one to seed our admin or our password into the database. Whenever we run our application, it automatically seed this data into the database. So that is why it's been registered in the program.cs. So it's come here before the app.run, you paste it here. So you can see we have dbusers.add-new-user. This is where we are creating our user, and also we are seeding it to our database. So don't want a situation where we create a registration page, then we now start creating a new user from the page. You can also do it automatically from the program.cs, where you register your user, create new user, and seed them directly to the database when you run your application. That's where we have username equals to admin, password admin123, and the full name is what? Administrator. So what next do we need? Let's see. So everything is done on the program.cs. So now let's now go and build our controller. Controller is just like a carrier of information that carries a what? A response from a user, take it to the database, bring back the request, carry the request from a user, take that request to the database, and bring back the response back to the user. That is what work of a controller. So what do we need to create? We need to create an account controller. So let's go further. Come here. We have a controller folder. Click on add, click on controller, and click on what? MVC controller empty. So you click on add, change this to what? Account controller, because we are creating an account. So create an account controller. Click on add, automatically to create what? An action method, which is an index action method. So what do we need there? Let's go. So we have a private read only application DB context. So we have a constructor here that accepts this application DB context. Then we have a login, login action. So let's pick it one after the other. So let's go further. Okay, so we have to copy. Let me copy this one here. This private read only. Come here and paste it here. So we are done with this one. So you save your work. The next one, let's start doing our copying our action method. So the first action method here is what? Login, and this is a HTTP get. So this will enable us to display what? The login form on the browser. So that's why it's called HTTP get, to get the form. So let's go further. So you come here. Let's take away this one because we don't need it. We put it. So we have login here, action, public action result, login, and what is it returning? Is returning what? A view. Or what kind of view? A login view. So what do we have next?